Welcome back everyone to another episode of Minecraft Better Than Adventure. We're opening up, walking away from our courthouse area, and today we are going to be building a general store. One thing I realized that this place was severely lacking was actually a general store area. It's kind of funny, like, we have a saloon, we have a bank, we have a sheriff's, we have a hotel, we have a courthouse. I believe this is a bathhouse of some kind, a ranch house. We got the mines. We've got an abandoned building, some wagons. But I forgot to make a store. A store. It's as simple as that. So that's what we're going to be building this episode. This store is based off of a bunch of the reference pictures I found online. It's my own design. I just tried building what I thought would look like a wonky looking Western store that would be built in that era. And it's not going to be super hard to build this either, so I'm actually going to get straight into it because it's a very simple build, really. The hardest part about this build will be figuring out the slant on the roof, but you'll see what I mean in a bit. And yeah, I just want to thank you all so much for your support last episode. I'm still messing around with the microphone today, so the microphone might sound the same or worse compared to last episode. Hopefully, it's at least the same. It's going to take a lot of tweaking to get it to where I want because I don't know how to EQ. So that's something that's very new to me. There we go. And then this will go here. This fills in here and up to here. And I'm going to focus on the facade first once again, because that's always the most important part of these Western builds here. The idea is this is one of those old slanted houses you'd see in one of those Westerns. And it's right next to a couple of parked wagons. This building here. And then I'll build one more building on the opposite side of the ranch house right there before we start working on this middle section here, trying to make a path that works, because that's going to be really hard to do without breaking the immersion. But that's for later me to figure out. Current me is actually going to get these details in right now so that it's easier to reference. I believe it goes like that. Yes, it does. And then these slabs go like that. I always mess at least one thing up here though, so I've got to be careful here. Goes like this, then 1, 2, and then it goes up here, and then it goes up like that again, and then like so. And this top spot up here sticks out because it's actually the sign that you would see in all of these others here, 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 here. Every one of these builds has one of these signs, and it goes sort of like this. And then on this side, it continues here with the roof like so. Yeah, that looks about correct. Then from here, it's just as simple as bam, it's like so. And water bucket clutch. There we go. Now let's run over here to sleep. And as I run over here to sleep, I guess I just want to answer the first question left by you guys last episode. And this one was from Quadrilage. And they asked, what do you think of the new update drop with the creaking, bundles, and pale garden? So that is a wonderful question, Quadrilage. I was actually going to ask you all the same thing. I think I'm really satisfied with this small update, and I want Mojang to go back to doing these again, which they said they are, so I'm really ecstatic. I've gotten kind of tired of the huge major updates that overall something, and Mojang is starting to go back to the old ways before they were bought by Microsoft, where they used to update the game several times a year with little small updates, and that's what this is. The Pale Garden actually looks really cool, though I do wish that it had like some ambience to it, like a very heavy fog or something like the Nether does. The creaking is literally like a weeping angel from Doctor Who, and those are literally my favorite Doctor Who monster character. They kept me up at night the first time I watched those Doctor Who episodes. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to this thing coming in game because I feel like it'll be a really fun and scary addition. As long as you don't go in there wearing netherite. If you go in there wearing netherite, of course it's not going to be scary. You're wearing netherite. As for the bundles, I think that they're an okay solution to the inventory problem, but not a permanent one. I like that the bundles are dyeable now, and I love the colors, though I do think think they could use a bit of saturation. I think the worst addition in the update is definitely the Pale Garden biome. And it's not because I think it's a bad idea. I think it's because it lacks having that sort of feeling that I think Mojang was going for. And I think it can get that feeling simply by getting its own fog. Plus, being a smaller feature means it's a lot easier for me to keep track of. If I'm being honest, there's a ton of newer Minecraft features that I haven't interacted with at all, even though they were such a big update. Like all of these big updates, and I've barely interacted with them. Heck, some of these big updates I don't even appreciate. For instance, and I'm going to be completely honest here, I don't like the Caves and Cliffs update. You heard me say it. I think they overhauled the cave too much. The terrain is too hard to navigate compared to the terrain that was before. And generally, I just think that the smaller updates will lead to more focused features and a lot happier audience. But at the same time, you can never satisfy the Minecraft fan base. And I feel bad for Mojang, to be honest. What do you guys think of this small update coming up? Do you think it's worth it, or do you think Mojang should have kept with the bigger updates? Spooky season is coming up very quickly, and that means Halloween. So I just wanted to ask you guys another quick question while I'm talking about spooky stuff. What are you guys going to be dressing up for Halloween? I'm not going over the top. I don't plan on going trick-or-treating or anything with my friends since all of us are college focused right now. Instead, I'm planning on just buying a Ghostbusters jacket from Spirit Halloween because I've been eyeing that thing for the last like 5 years and I really want to buy one because it looks just like the jacket I wear, but it's Ghostbusters themed. So it's literally perfect for me. This general store, you can just see from the front here, the vibe is a very rickety vibe. It's not supposed to be super fancy. A lot of the builds here are giving very rickety vibes. These are very solid because these were the first builds I built. But then the further along we went, the more like rickety and old it got. So this is actually all just a solid block. That should make it easy to fill in there. Then this goes across right here. The roof is actually not that hard to fill in. Looks like even though I wasn't planning on it, I think I'm going to be making an interior for this build. This video will either end up being very short or perfect in length. There's literally never an in-between with my Better Than Adventure episodes. Sorry if my commentary seems all over the place. I just had to pause my recording a few times to satisfy my cat that's in my room. She wants to be let out, but because we've been cleaning our house and stuff, I can't let her out of my room right now. But she really wants to be let out, and so she's been bugging my arm and stuff. So I keep having to pause the recording and be like, baby, I'm sorry, I can't let you out right now. She's such a sweetheart. She asked so politely. She's sitting right next to me right now. She's just plopped down on the floor and staring at me right now. Now is where I move on to the awning out here. And then it goes across like so. Our axe is about to break, but hopefully it doesn't break while we're building. And I'll just leave it to future me to deal with. Some torches here and here and here and here. That's great. Now I'm gonna run over here before it gets too dark, and I'm scared of the dark, so I gotta run and sleep. As I'm running over here, I guess I want to answer another question from you guys left last episode. This one was from Deciberry, and they asked, if you could live anywhere, where would it be? Okay, that question is really creative, and it's a bit of a difficult one to answer. And you mentioned that I don't have to understand the language or whatever, like I'll just understand it, but that's still a hard decision because I have to keep in mind like the climate and stuff as far as I know. Personally, I think places that are the most popular would be like New York, LA, San Diego, San Francisco, and then there'd be like Japan areas like Tokyo. I think for me though, I would choose something more obscure. Like, how about Iceland? Iceland looks amazing. I mean, it might be a little hard to live there full time. If I had to choose a place based on looks, I would go with Iceland. I don't know. I'd want to go somewhere with a lot of history. That's a very pretty location, but also not super popular. So yeah, the answer I'm going to go with right now is Iceland, but I feel like that could very easily change if I did some research. Where would you guys go if you could go anywhere and not have to worry about language or any other barrier? All right, now it's time to work on the interior. I think I actually want to go with the white wooden planks I brought along as the floor. They would just go in here like so. All right, let's see. I'm thinking the cashier would be over here, right? Like so. Seems like a perfect spot right here. And then I can actually place a jar down here. Maybe it's a tip jar. Then what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna craft more slabs. And I want to see if I can make some shelving. That maybe? Yeah, that should work. That gives us room to place stuff here and here. Maybe this one is a shelf that goes like that. The shelves aren't stocked, but this is the general store, and this is the outer edge of the general store. I think this part right here could use a bit of work, but it looks sort of run down, and I was going for that look anyways. That's going to be it for this episode, so let's head straight to the side garden so that I can then attend to my poor little kitty. First up is Endless Pain. Then we have Purple Weirdo, Deciberry, Quadrilige, Denicillin, Oculus, Snail Badnik Enjoyer, Danielle 29, and finally the Desolator. An absolutely massive thank you to these 9 people for watching until the end of last episode. I can't thank you all enough. Comment sold in the comment section below because that's what's going to be happening at the general store. That sentence made no sense. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.